Hello, good morning. Good morning, Zom. Nice to see you. Good morning, April. I hope, April, that you can hear me. 111, if you can hear my dulcet tones across the airwaves. Bear with me a second. Oh, hang on. I just want to change that. I'm just looking for something specific. I just found it and I've lost it again because it made me log in before I could download it, which is annoying. Where's it gone? I had it. There it is. Okay, that's my own fault. So, oh, right, just getting something ready. So, hello, Hermina. Hi. Good morning, Hermina. Okay, you're glad to present here. You can present in a moment. But Hermina, I don't think you completed the challenge. That puts me in a slightly awkward spot because really the people who answer the call are people who completed the challenge. But anyway, because today is going to be a little bit about Vocabulary Challenge 49, which was all about Valentine's Day. I've got a couple of things I just want to go through first, and then those, if Shiny comes and April, I'd like you to read out your corrected text from the forum. Okay, I'm going to just go into live chat though, because this is the live chat session. So I'm going onto the live chat page, and okay, Barat wants to join us, but yeah, looks as if he can't find. Click on register above and follow the directions. There you go. So let's do a little quick screen share. Yeah, is it Hamida? Hamina? That's true. It's my first time. I'm glad to present here. You're very right. I presumed it was Hamina, but yeah, I am. Yeah. What can I say? My eyes. Hamina or Traum, or is it really Hamida? I think it's probably Hamida. Actually, looking at the email. Okay, so let's just quickly have a look at live chat. So we've got Barat who was asking how I can chat in live session teacher. Okay, so capital H, capital I, how, and then it should be a question. So how can I chat in the live session teacher question mark? Thank you, Zom. Thank you so much for replying to Bharat, and Rohit came along as well, asked is anybody there, needs a question mark as well. Lots and lots of yeah, exactly. Zom, absolutely. What? So if you are going to write in shorthand, make sure people understand it. No idea. GM is short form of good morning. Never heard GM being short for good morning. To me, it's genetically modified. Okay. Then we've got Harsha, who said hello as well and asked anyone here, question mark, capital A. Tomorrow's live session will be very romantic. That was me. Rose came along and said hello. And Zom, thank you for the little chat we had. I'm not sure how I'm going to dress as an umlaut though. Guest came, who was Agata from Italy. Agata, you do need to capitalize a little bit better. So my main, I think you meant name. My should be capitalized with a capital M. Name is Name. Agata is your name, so it should have a capital A. I, when it's the first person, is always capitalized. Italy is a place name, proper noun, capitalized. Capital I. English, also a proper noun. And don't forget the full stop. Okay. And Avaz came along and said, hello, I have to improve my fluency in English. I hope this is a best place for it. You'd actually say the best place. I'm not sure if it's the best place, but it's certainly one of the best. We're aiming to be the best, but there's a problem with being the best. As soon as you're the best, people just copy what you do. So we're just going to be one of the best from now on, okay? It's too much competition otherwise. And as I put here, you can do a lot here if you get involved, okay? So let's see. The next thing I want to just cover is a very standard thing, I think, for Valentine. It's one of the most common gifts that we give at Valentine, which is chocolate. Now, there was a little bit of an, what can I say, a slight problem with the use of the word chocolate in most people's texts. Okay, so we had three texts. We had Monik, Shiny, and April, and this sort of idea of when do I, and Monique specifically asked me about candies, so American, sweets, which are always countable. Sweets are countable. Candy, however, isn't always countable. Candies as in individual sweets are countable. Candy as a general term for all the sweets in the world is uncountable. Okay, and the same sort of thing goes with chocolate. Remember when we did about coffee and how coffee can be countable, uncountable, countable, uncountable, depending on whether you're talking about the plant, the beans, the drink, the powder. Chocolate is very similar. So here we've got chocolate. Okay, we've got chocolate powder. We've got chocolate beans. Very like coffee beans, actually. Oh, we got some walnuts. And we've got chocolate and pieces of chocolate and somewhere a bar of chocolate. Okay, so this chocolate here is uncountable. The chocolate powder is uncountable. Chocolate beans, countable. Okay, but then you have a piece of chocolate or a bar of chocolate to make it countable. Okay, so I've got several pieces of chocolate or a bowl of chocolate. You can also make it countable by putting it in a bowl, which looks suspiciously like one of my bowls. It's not my photo. I think this photo was made by Nordwood Themes. If that helps you at all. So chocolate generally is uncountable when you're talking about all the chocolate in the world. However, we also have something called chocolates, and chocolates are countable. And that's the sort of chocolates you get in a box of chocolates. So we always say a box of chocolates if this is what you mean. Not like, let me just see if I can get it back. Oh, what have I done with it? Not like a bowl of chocolate. So you see the difference? A bowl of chocolate, a box of chocolates. Individual. How many? Somebody's taken my favourite. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 chocolates. And we've got some outside as well. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 chocolates, 18 chocolates in this picture. And there's some chocolate also has been sprinkled. Now, why do we say some chocolate has been sprinkled? Well, you try and count this powder. This chocolate powder. It would be stupid to try and count it. So you just say, oh, sprinkled with chocolate. Okay. So any questions about chocolate and chocolates? Yeah, a box of chocolates, a bowl of chocolate, a box of chocolates, a bowl of chocolate. Absolutely. Might be better. It might be better if you said a box of chocolates, a bar of chocolate. Okay. It's not often that you actually see chocolate served up in a. Oh, where's it gone? I've lost it. It's not often you see chocolate served in a bowl like that. unless you're going to melt it to put it on top of a cake, maybe. So I would say a box of chocolates, a bar of chocolate, if you want a nice little mnemonic to help remember. A box of chocolates, a bar of chocolate, a box of chocolates, a bar of chocolate. Okay, so Citi's asking about connecting audio. City, how this works, and Hamida as well. I will need to know who you are on the forum. And on Monday, generally, you have to have taken part in the vocabulary challenge, unless I really know you from the forum or from other sessions. So, for example, I know Zom, I know April, I know Shiny, if Shiny were to come. So, April, you took part in the challenge, so I would like you to join me. Okay. Hamida, yes, it's a little bit like a tongue twister. Now, Zom, can you join us today? Okay, April has asked a question. You can put chocolates in a bowl too, right? Absolutely. You can put the individual chocolates. Let's go back to the chocolates. Okay, so this is a bowl of chocolate, but if you put these chocolates into a bowl, then it would be a bowl of chocolates. Okay. Okay, so April, could you raise your hand if you're okay to speak? You can, but I'm afraid I didn't take up the challenge. Well, I would like you to read Monique's text, Zom, today, if you don't mind, because Monique can't come, and then I'll need another reader to read, to actually read Shiny's text as well. But April can read her own text. Okay, now I'm going to invite April in, as you took part in the challenge. Now, if you're watching and thinking, what challenge? It's on the forum. I'll go through it again. You go to groups in the forum here. You go to join us for webinars and you find the vocabulary challenge. We've had 49 vocabulary challenges so far. And then you'll always find the instructions here. You go to the Moodle page and enter the password Moodler49 under the vocabulary challenge, and you take the challenge. The instructions are in the challenge. And then we always discuss the answers in live chat. Okay. So, can you hear me? Can we hear you? April, are you there?
Good morning, Lynn. Good
Good
morning,
morning. Your
Sam.
voice is working fine. I don't know why you were worried.
Yeah, it was so weird to hear nothing from webinar. Normally, the moment that I click on the link, they started to say something to me about how to use the webinar, how to take coffee before the webinar starts. And now today, nothing. I don't know why.
Were you a little bit later joining? It might
No,
be no,
no.
okay, because it might be that the webinar had started. I'll let them know. I'll ask. There should be a session tomorrow with them, so I will let them know that you didn't get a sort of introduction. So Zom, I'm going to ask you to join us. Okay, and then Hamida, I'll invite you to join us when Zom and April have done their reading. Because this is your first time, we're going to take it a little bit slowly because first timers don't always manage to get into the call. It involves downloading an app and checking your camera and sound connection. We don't use the camera, but you will need your sound connection checking. So we'll go through this bit first, and then we'll invite you and City to talk with us, okay? So we'll wait for Zom to join us. Fingers crossed she's able to. Now, when you first join one of these calls, you have to download the app, and then you have to go through some tests. Every time you want to join the call, you have to go through a sound check where you just make sure that your microphone is working. There's no point coming into this call if your microphone doesn't work because you might as well just stay and listen. That's all you'll be able to do anyway. And there are only a limited number of seats in each call. So we'll wait while Som joins us. The nice thing is, if you do miss a bit whilst you're trying to join the call, you can watch the replay on YouTube or in the webinar replay. So April, I'm going to scroll through past Monik's to start with and down to yours. And I'd like you can look at the corrections later, okay? But I'd like you to read my correction. Can you see it on the screen, or would you prefer me to make it larger?
I have already put it on my
Excellent.
document.
Good. I'll make it a little bigger for everybody.
It's so difficult, yeah.
Yeah, it is. But hopefully that's readable. And April's going to read her text, which I have corrected. That was the prize this week, I guess. If you took the time to write some paragraphs, I gave you word for word corrections. Bonus correction, okay? Why do I keep getting that message? Did you see it? Scan to computer is no longer active. I'm not trying to scan. Stupid computers, stop sending me messages. Anyway, April, did you have any questions about the corrections first?
To be honest, I haven't read the correction.
Okay, that's fine. Well, this will give you a chance to read them. I know I didn't do them till this morning, so I don't blame you. It was a busy weekend this weekend. Hopefully things will start calming down in a couple of weeks. I can get back to normal. Okay, April, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Here we go again. We have just celebrated Christmas and New Year, and the next celebration is already peeking its head round the corner. The world will be celebrating Valentine's Day soon. Valentine's Day, the feast of love and romance, is celebrated on the 14th of February. History has it that the name Valentine is originated from Saint Valentine, a 3rd century Roman saint who was beheaded in 266 after Christ AD, Anno Domino. Oh, it's easier. On February the 14th, by order of the Emperor Claudius II. Valentine was accused of marrying young couples secretly against Claudius' command to ban all marriages. Valentine was named a saint, and in 466 AD, Pope Gelasius declared that February the 14th would be celebrated as Saint Valentine's Day. It must be a coincidence that long before it, in ancient Rome, people celebrated the feast of Lupercalia in mid-February. This was a pagan feast to promote fertility. Apart from sacrificing goats and dogs, young women would line up for the men to be whipped by a thong made of goat skin. It was believed that it would ensure fertility and ease the pains of childbirth. The names of women would then be placed in a box. They would be drawn by the men and coupled up for the duration of the festival. Quite a brutal festival, in fact, and by declaring the 14th of February as Valentine's Day, Pope Gelasius wanted to make an end to it. Lynn puts us regularly in the number generators too, in order to draw the winner of the English radio games. However, luckily, February the 14th gradually became a date for exchanging love messages, poems, and simple gifts such as flowers or chocolates. Once a year, people can show their beloved how much they love each other. The world must be full of happy romantic people. In the United States alone, 62% of adults say that they celebrate the holiday. 36 million heart-shaped chocolate boxes are sold. $8.6 million is spent on sparkling wine, and 198 million roses are produced around Valentine's Day. So, how are you going to celebrate Valentine's Day this year? Thank you.
Very good. Well done. I did a quick on off the cuff correction as well, which is the bit where it said history has it that the name Valentine is originated from. No, it would just be originates from or originated from. Okay. So I'll change it that the name Valentine originates from Saint Valentine. Okay. And then happy, comma, romantic people. I'll just put a comma in there because I like commas. Okay. Very nicely written, though. It was very good. Well done. And you made a couple of nice points. One thing I won't be doing to celebrate Valentine's Day is lining up to be whipped. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Well done. Well done. So, Zom, are you in the call with us? Have we got your microphone?
I think you have, but
Yay! Thank goodness. Sorry to be so yay, but you know what it can be like in a webinar. The technology let us down last week, so I'm very nervous this week. Any questions on to April about her text?
Oh, it's well written and with a bit of humor at the same time. Well done. It's a good one, this one, and it reminds me about the radio show you registered with Aladdin about Valentine's Day as well, and how many times I've listened to it last year.
Yeah, I know. I was like that. I was like, oh, they did a session on this, and so April's written it up. It's excellent.
I think
Now,
I think you're a
Mhm.
professional of Valentine's Day, April. You know everything about it. You have been talking about every year. You talk about it and you describe it, and you remind us about the tradition and what the story as well. So yeah, I think you
Yeah, I wouldn't
are
say a professional. I'll say an expert.
an
She's an
expert.
expert.
She is indeed.
No,
But
I was very
yeah,
impressed. Well done.
yeah, I think last year I read that article, and I think that it was about the Irish priest, not a Roman priest. So
Well,
or
to
saint.
me,
They
it was
are
about
also
Valentine's, and you were commenting about it and adding more information to it and commenting the text. So anyway, when I hear Valentine's, I think of you as well.
But how can I was a little bit confused. How to read AD again, Lins? Anno Domino, I know that, but on Anno Domini. But how do you say that in English? After Christ?
Yeah, I mean, you would just say AD. You were quite right to just say
Okay.
AD. There's no need to go into Anno Domini or anything like that. Just AD is enough. 256 AD. And the only time you'd really write it is when it's like 256 or 32, because 32 BC means before Christ, Anno Domini means after death. Okay, so, and that's on the Christian calendar, of course, but that is still the calendar most widely used around the world today. Some people are trying to use things like universal calendar, different terminology to be more politically correct, less sort of religiously focused. But at the moment, it's still BC and AD is the standard way to write it. You only really, as I say, you only really need to write it when you're in like three numbers, once you're in 1020, 1350, 1975, I wouldn't write 2017 AD. It's pretty obvious it's going to be that. Okay, you can just take it as read. You might put 2017 BC if you really were a historian or an archaeologist or something. But when you're writing the smaller numbers that are close to that turning point, then you would write AD or BC. Okay?
Okay. And about you have corrected somebody last week. Marriages. Oh, it is so difficult to say that. I would like to say marriages also in this context.
Yeah, in Talk to the Hand. In Let's Talk About It, somebody said, I can't remember which session it was, but yeah, somebody said marriage, and it's not, it's marriage. It's just, get used to it. It's just, let's do a define. You'll see the, I love this. I don't have to type it. I can just do define, marriage. Okay. And there it is. Marriage. Okay.
Marriage, I can pronounce it correctly, but marriages, it's difficult.
I see, the plural. Yeah. Okay. It's, I think, partly it's because you've suddenly got the S there. Okay. And so you tend to, I've noticed it's like the ly ending. When you've got an extra bit on a word, quite often your brain just goes into a meltdown. There's that little message again. I'm going to ask Aladdin about that. Okay, any other questions, April, before I give you your feedback on pronunciation? It's like a reading session, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of question. Not question actually. Your correction in grammar. That is what I. Yeah, I like to. Yeah, I wanted to read that again after this. Not now.
Okay, if you've got any questions about the corrections that are related to grammar, you can ask in the forum. Okay, just ask in the at the end. Okay, and you can ask about other people's corrections as well, not just your own. That's absolutely fine. Okay, but you did very well. I mean, there were very few corrections when you look at it, considering it's, you wrote a complicated text. I thought it was a really good piece of writing. It was very good. Well done. Anyhow, let's give you your feedback on the pronunciation. Romance. It's the feast of love and romance. So you've got a long O, romance. Try it.
Romance.
Yay! And I had written AD, but we've covered that. Then secretly. It's a secret. So you've got the long E and then the secretly.
Secretly.
Yeah, good. I know I'm pretty certain you'd be able to say secret. And I think, again, it's that little suffix of the ly suddenly makes your brain go, ah! So, secretly. Then saint, again, long A, saint.
Yeah, I always have problem with it. Also, last year, Tom, in that article, saint.
That's it. And the last one, again, the long A, pagan. Now, I say that, but I know that in some circles, and I believe in pagan circles, they say pagan. But honestly, if you're talking normally, you would say pagan. So like that, pagan. Okay.
Pagan.
But I have heard people say pagan. It's a bit pretentious, to be honest, because the dictionaries say pagan. Okay, very good. Any questions before we move on?
There was also, actually, I wanted to write perfumes, but I was afraid that I will write it wrongly, because I wanted to write perfumes plural, but it is possible, really, like chocolates.
You can, if you're talking about individual types of perfume. I mean, generally it's a liquid, so it's uncountable, but different kinds of different types of, like when you've got coffee, we always say coffee is uncountable as a liquid and you have a cup of coffee. But sometimes people will order 2 coffees, and what they're saying is, I'd like 2 cups of coffee. So if you were to say perfumes, then you're probably talking about different kinds of perfume, different manufactured perfume. Chanel number 5, Chanel number 19, or 2 different perfumes. Okay. So again, context matters.
So here,
perfume is a dangerous thing to buy for Valentine's Day, though.
I still have.
So are knickers. Underwear. Don't buy underwear, guys. Don't do it. You're not qualified. Hello, Rima. Nice to see you. Okay, so Monique, of course, cannot. Oh, yeah, April. Sorry.
So here, it is correct that I wrote flowers or chocolates in plural, because then the readers have to interpret it as boxes, not as chocolate.
Exactly. It would not be very romantic to give somebody a bar of chocolate for Valentine's Day. I mean, I'm sure it's happened. Yeah, last minute down the garage because you've forgotten. It's very difficult to forget Valentine's Day, to be honest, because it's everywhere. But if you did, a bar of chocolate, not very romantic. So by saying chocolates in somebody's head, you know how the words paint a picture in someone's head. That's what they're for, and that's the picture they would get. A nice box of chocolates in a box or in a tin. It's much more romantic than a bar of chocolate. So yes, well done. Okay, so you're going to take place of Monique. So what I want you to do is read Monique's corrected text, Seb.
Okay.
Zom, sorry. Confuse people. I'm trying not to confuse people because they see the name Zom and I call you Zeb, and they see the name Rima and I call him Marco. They're like, who's she talking to? Can she not read? Anyhow, but because Monique speaks Spanish, I'd like you to read it in a Spanish accent. No, I'm joking.
Wow.
I'm joking.
Wow.
I'm joking. No. I wouldn't do that to you.
I speak Spanish with a French accent or still, so don't ask me.
So I could not resist that.
It's the Latino accent on top of that, not the Spanish one, not the Spanish from Spain. There are different accents.
Absolutely. By the way, if you ever want to hear me really embarrassed, watch Friday's session in Kitely on streaming. It was so funny, and it's related to you and Monique. Strangely, yeah. I won't go into it here, but April knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, Friday. Okay. Not TGI, the Kitely one.
It was the Kitely session.
Right, okay.
It was the Kitely session.
Okay.
Was it Friday or Wednesdays, April? When I made a completely
it was Friday.
It was Friday, yeah. I couldn't remember.
I'll do it now.
OMG. Okay, so Zom, can you see the text?
Yeah,
Is it clear enough to read? Excellent.
It's clear enough, no problem.
Whenever you're ready, okay?
Okay, so here I go. The first part of the infographic sums up the history of Valentine's Day. It points out that it stems from ancient Rome, although the reason for this celebration seems to be slightly different from what we all supposed it was. Back then, they used to honor fertility and other religious matters. However, since the 1300s, this day has had a connection to love and romance, and Valentine's Day spread over Europe and finally to the US. Speaking about Valentine's Day in the United States, some figures show us the impact on the economy caused by its celebration. At least 62% of the adults in America participate actively on this day. In terms of spending, the infographic indicates some of the most appealing items for Americans, also the amount of money they have spent on them. In total, Americans have shelled out $448 million on candy, chocolates, heart-shaped chocolate boxes, cards, and gifts to send to each other. However, it's clear that men spend twice as much money as women. Besides chocolates and candy, Americans also purchase flowers, plants, and sparkling wine. The top 5 flower shop choices are, if you scroll up, I will have a problem reading. Okay.
I'm so sorry. Yes, I didn't realise. By the way, well done. Because I was correcting this morning. It's Monday morning, guys. And you're quite right. It shouldn't say Americans are. It's just Americans
Also, okay.
Also, yeah, well done. Okay. So carry on, sorry.
The top 5 flower shop choices are, in first place, mixed flowers, then red roses, other flowers, and finally plants. When it comes to sparkling wine, Americans spend $8.6 million, which equates to roughly 174,000 gallons each year. In the end, Valentine's Day is not only the perfect occasion to show affection to your significant other, it's also important in terms of commerce. This is a win-win situation where buyers and sellers end up with a big smile on their faces.
Okay.
Very romantic.
Well done.
Very romantic, Monica. I think you are not into this celebration at all. It's all about statistics.
Well, in order to understand that, I'm not sure if you saw the
infographic.
Okay, you might not have seen the actual infographic. So what it was, in fact, what I can do, hang on a second, I'll show it in a moment. I can't show it right now because I've got to log in and I don't want people to know what my login is. I'm funny like that. Okay, so the vocabulary challenge, it was slightly different this week. Normally it's a picture or text. Normally it's a picture that you have to do it. This time it was actually a link to the History Channel, and it was Valentine's Day by numbers. Okay, so it took sort of a little bit about the history of Valentine's Day, but then it got into a lot of different
figures.
Statistics. That's the word I was looking for, statistics on Valentine's Day. Because, it's a huge celebration. I mean, $8.6 million just on sparkling wine. That's just incredible. 174,000
Just a question. When you say gallons, is the American gallons or the imperial gallons?
You would have to ask the person who actually wrote this, but as it's written for America, I would expect it to be American US gallons, and it's from the US Census Bureau. So
3.8 liters times 174,000.
Oh my goodness! Don't ask me to do that. This is an English lesson, not a maths lesson. Don't do that to me. Okay, so yes, I mean, if you want, I can share that link. Actually, I should have done that. Just let me take the link. If you're interested and you want to have a look at the infographic, that's where the link was to the infographic. So I'll share that with you. Bear with me whilst I come back into the webinar. I can find. I've lost you all. Oh, help! Where are you? There it is. Okay, so you can find the actual infographic there. Okay. Right. Now, just 2 little words for you as the reader. The first one, since.
Since,
yes. Not sense. You've got to be careful that you get this at the end. Okay. Otherwise, if you miss out the at the end, you've got sin. And if you say se, then you've got sense. So you've got to get that in and this as well. And then shelled out, to shell out.
Shelled out.
Yeah. Okay. It's an idiomatic phrasal verb. One of the ones that April loves.
Shelled out.
Yeah, to shell out. It means to part with your money, to buy something. Normally it implies a lot of money. I
All right.
shelled out €80 on gig tickets at the weekend, for example. I think that's a lot of money. It's like, oh my God. But there you go. I'm going to go and see Suguros, so I'm happy. But I had to shell out €80 to go. I mean, God, blimey. Not that they think much of themselves. Okay, so
Okay.
any questions? I know it's difficult because you didn't write the text, but any questions?
Not I just would like to salute April's text, because based on the infographic with all these numbers, April, you were successful to turn it into something more romantic. And Monik just indeed.
Monik is a businesswoman.
Yes.
And she did follow the letter of the instructions, to take the infographic. But it wasn't an idea that, it would inspire people to write about Valentine's Day.
Where I'm
well.
surprised is that I thought it was a British and American celebration, but actually it comes from Europe. Really?
Yes. Well, Britain is part of Europe.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of.
kind of.
Let's not go there.
Because we don't celebrate. It's not part of the most common celebration here.
I was going to come on to that, because in live chat, or was it in live chat, or was it in Discuss, or was it on English radio? Oh, it's on English radio, wasn't it? Let's go to English radio quickly. Was it live chat? Oh, okay. So let's go back to live chat.
If it's related to our little chat about it.
Yeah, no, because I was going to raise that actually, and what you'd written, that you just don't get it in France. Oh, that's right, because you were asking what's going on in. Oh, you are. There you go. So, Zom, would you like to read what you wrote? I thought it was quite funny.
Every time I think of February the 14th, this tagline comes to mind. Roses are red, violets are blue, Marmite, you're brown, and I love you. Guess who I have to thank for that? You. Yes. It's no big deal, though, as Valentine's Day is not really celebrated in France. It is celebrated, but it's not a big deal.
They don't make a big deal of it. I mean, I did mention in the shops, etc. Oh, by the way, traditionally, it's not written like that. Okay, it's written. Yeah, it's written with a single N and a double L. So the other way around.
Bugger. I will correct it.
I'll show you how to do this. Watch if I do that. Let me just take that from there. Watch what happens when I try that. Look. See that red line?
I corrected it in my. I edited the text.
No, I'm just saying, if you notice, you can set on Chrome, and I think on.
It is actually. It is on, but for Spanish.
Okay, fair enough.
No, I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
I've got problem with languages, so at the moment I just set it on for Spanish, and
no, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so you do get the shops and the hearts, etc. And the jewelry. Yeah, I mean they try. It's like in Germany. It's very similar to Germany. At work, for example, I'd be very surprised if anybody sent hubby a Valentine's Day card at work. But in England, that used to happen all the time. His colleagues would do it, always anonymously, by the way. But his colleagues would do it. I would always send him something. But in Germany, it's just not done. Okay. Now
it's not either in France.
But if you go into the shops, if you go into town today, you find hearts everywhere, because of course the shops want people to celebrate it. It's worth a lot of money. And there are Valentine's Day cards, and there's heart-shaped chocolate boxes, and bottles of bubbly. It's all there. I've just seen I'll join today's session. Yay! I didn't see it earlier.
No, because it's just 1 hour ago, so just before the session.
Okay, well, Hermaida's just joined us. Hermaida, can you hear us? Can we hear you? You don't need to turn your camera on, but you will need to turn your microphone on. You'll find it at the top of the page. There's a little button. It should be blue.
Ah.
Hello?
Hello, Hamida. Can you hear me? Try saying hello again. Okay, Hamida, your microphone is muted. Click on the microphone again to turn it on.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, how are you? Nice to
Thank
hear
you.
you.
I'm fine. Thank you.
Good. Well done. You got into the room. Woo! No, it's a real challenge for people, especially the first time. So well done.
Yes.
Give
Thank
yourself a
you.
pat on the back. So Hamida, what did you want to say to us? You asked for the microphone, so you must have something to say. Come on.
I have no any idea about something, but it's first time. That's why I'm glad to hear you and to speak with you.
Excellent. I'm glad to see it. And did you join from the forum or from live chat on the website?
Can you repeat? I can't hear.
Okay, so did you join from the forum or
Yes.
from live chat?
Live chat.
Okay, good. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, today we've been talking about Valentine's Day, and it's up to you. This is your first session. It's fine if you want to just listen, but the whole point of coming into the session, you can listen as a attendee. To be a participant, it's about speaking. So would you like to read the text that Shiny wrote? Because Shiny hasn't been able to join us today. Would you like to read the text Shiny wrote about Valentine's Day?
Yes, I want.
Okay, I'll put it onto screen share. So bear with me a second. I always disappear when I start screen sharing. And this is the corrected text. Okay. Can you read it? Is it okay? As soon as you're ready.
Yes. The story of Saint Valentine's Day has been told since ancient Rome, and it has been a commercial successful celebration since the 1840s in the United States, but nowhere in history shows whether this day is meant for men, women, or both. Despite this, it's a day of romance that is celebrated all over the world. Do you celebrate Valentine's Day? Have you ever given a gift to someone? There is a survey out saying that about 62% of adults in the United States celebrate this day. What's more, men spend $150 on average for Valentine's Day gifts, and women spend $74 respectively, which means men spend twice as much as women do, which seems to show that women are less willing to do any gift giving and tells us that there is a belief among women that's an obligation for men to offer gifts. Mostly they change cards, candies, chocolates, gifts, or flowers with their special Valentine on this day. Additionally, 23% of adults in America say they purchase flowers or plants on Valentine's Day, and mixed flowers are the topic pick. People in Japan celebrate this day in a very unique way. It's the woman who prepare presents and give chocolates to the men. There are two types of chocolate, grey choco and homemade choco. The former is women who give chocolates to their father, male boss, colleagues, or friends to show their gratitude or simply as a social nicety. The latter describes women who give chocolate to the person they really like and confess their love for him. If men reciprocate their feelings, they are supposed to give a gift in return on White Day, which is exactly 1 month after Valentine's Day. People of all ages in Japan love to send and receive chocolate on Valentine's Day and are concerned as much about the chocolate as. Can you turn down the page? Uh, okay. Uh, as much as about the chocolate as about romance, handmade chocolates are also very popular, showing that lots of thought has put into making them personally. Valentine's Day is never a romance happy day for me, though. It's yes. Anyway, love is all around at this time of year. Love it or hate it. Even children in kindergartens across Japan celebrate it. So, what would you like to do to celebrate Valentine's Day?
Very
That's all.
good. Well
Really,
done.
I make so mistakes.
Okay, that's why you're here. Okay, if you didn't make any mistakes, why would you need to come here?
Okay.
Okay, so what I do in these sessions, if there's any reading involved, I tend to make you guys do. I sometimes read, but most of the time I will make you do the reading, and then I just listen, and I'll try to catch as many words as I can that I can help you with the pronunciation. Okay.
Okay.
It's up to you to ask questions about the grammar or anything you're not sure of the meaning of. Not individual words, but sentences, etc. Because you can look individual words up in a dictionary. But you can also do that on the forum. Okay, so if you go into the forum, join the group, and then you can go and say, why did you correct that? Why isn't it okay to say this? That kind of thing, which April's probably going to do to me later. Why? But very well read. Well done. So the
Thank you.
first one, if you notice, and I know people don't like this kind of thing, but it's not a commercial successful, it's a commercially successful celebration. Okay, you can't ignore the fact that it's got the ly on the end because it turns it into an adverb. Yeah, it's a commercial success, but because you've got the word celebration, it's a commercially successful celebration. Okay, so try it. A commercially successful.
Commercially successful.
Very good. And then the next one, meant. If you don't get the T at the end, it's going to sound like men. And because we're talking about men and women in this text, it would be confusing. So meant.
Meant.
Good. Now your way of pronouncing percent, it's not quite correct because what we're not talking is like per dollar. We're talking about percent. The stress is slightly different. So it's 62%.
62%.
You'll need to work on it. You're going to find that difficult. People do when they first realize. If you just go to Google, do a little define, %, okay, and then you'll get, there you go, and you'll see the stress isn't on per, it's on cent. Percent. Yeah. Percent. That's it. And what you can do also, you click on that, you'll hear this lovely American going, percent. And try recording yourself as well, so you can compare. Record yourself, listen to yourself, because sometimes when you say it in your head, it's perfect. It's only when you hear it played back, you think, oh, yeah, my stress is slightly wrong there. Okay, so the next one, it's more than $1. So you would say $1.
$1.
That's fine. But we got 150 of them here, so it's $150.
$150.
That's it. And talking about plural, quite often we add, so we've got dollar, singular, dollars, plural, and that's how most plural goes, but not always. Especially when coming to people, we have they're sort of irregular plurals, if you like. So you've got woman, which is singular, and women.
Women.
Yeah. So again, you go to women, and here you have it. Stress with women.
Women.
Yeah. Okay. So, and if you say woman, people will just hear a woman, but they're talking about women in general. Okay. And again,
Okay.
could you read this for me?
Women.
Yeah.
Women.
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 Yeah. Women. If you look at the phonetics, you can see it's I. Women.
Women.
Much better. Good. Okay. This next one. Let me just find it for you. Oh, where's it gone? Oh, that's in here. So, keeping in mind what I just corrected here, could you say this?
$74.
Yay! Love it.
I got it.
Excellent. Okay. The next one is they don't change cards; they exchange cards. You've got to get the X on the front. Exchange.
Exchange.
Yeah, that's it. It means he gives her one, she gives him one. Okay, so they exchange cards. If they change cards, it would be, I don't like this card, I want a different one. And then you change it. Okay, so well done. Then the next one is, let's have a look. Again, keeping in mind what I gave you earlier, there was a correction. Go on, give it a go.
23%.
23%.
Yes,
That's
23.
it. I told you you're gonna have to practice that one. It's what I call a fossilized mistake. It's in your head. It's going to be really difficult to shift it. It's not a terrible mistake. It just sounds funny. Okay, that's all. Don't worry too much about it. But it's worth giving it a go. Okay, the next one is the top pick. Not the topic, the top pick.
The top pick.
Yeah, you've got to sort of say top, make sure you get the p at the end, and then pick. Otherwise, it sounds like the topic.
The top
So
pick.
the top pick. Yeah, well done. Good. The next one, we have these things called verbs and we have these things called nouns. And sometimes a noun will reflect a verb. And sometimes they'll sound the same. And sometimes they won't. Okay, so the verb is to present. But when you're talking about gifts, we talk about presents.
Presents.
Yes, so they're preparing presents to present to men. Okay, so let's give you that sentence. They prepare presents to present to men.
Presents.
Try that sentence. They prepare presents to present to men.
Okay. To prepare presents. Presents for men.
Okay, can you see in the chat? I've written it down for you in chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Presents.
Yeah, I'll give it you here.
Yes.
Right, this.
Okay.
They prepare presents to present to men.
They prepare presents to present to men.
That's it. Well done. Again, your brain's going to go, no, I don't like that. So you're going to have to kind of whip it into shape. Just try practicing it as much as possible, both words in context. Present,
Okay.
present, to present a present. Okay. Okay, next one. And supposed. It's got what we call a silent E. There are lots of silent letters in English. And sometimes when it's an ED ending, it's voiced, what we call voiced. So, I'm trying to think of one that's voiced, but anyhow, sometimes they're not, and this one is not. So it's supposed.
Supposed.
That's it. Good. And then the last one is very important. It's not Japan. It's Japan.
Japan.
Japan. Yeah, we will say, don't ask me why it's got this sound, but it has. Here it is. Now, if you get into looking at these pronunciation phonetics,
Japan.
this little drunken E is very important. It's like an upside down, back to front E. And even though that's an A, it takes the most common sound in English. It's called the schwa. Don't worry about that. It's a little drunken E, and it means Okay, so Japan.
Japan.
Okay, very good. Well done. And we have the author of the text here, Shiny. I'm so sorry. You were too late to read, but I think you have to agree. Hamida does a very, very good job of reading your text.
Thank you. Actually, I read the words. I think I can't make a mistake, but when I read the text, there is I do a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, making mistakes when you're reading. I mean, if you watch some of our reading sessions, we're now streaming more so that people can see what we do. And you will notice that when I give the individual corrections, there's generally no mistakes. It's absolutely clear, and sometimes it's a bit of a surprise for people, like women. That's often a huge surprise to people because it doesn't look anything like it sounds. That's English for you, though. You have to get used to that. You have to accept our pronunciation is one of the fun parts of learning English. Just think of it as fun. Okay. And with the internet, you can check yourself so easily. You can listen to them again and again. However, when it's in a string of words, your brain isn't really concentrating on the individual words. It's trying to work out the meaning, which is quite right. So anything that's slightly off in your brain will come out when you're reading a text. And you'll find that a lot especially the more advanced texts that you might read when you're no longer a learner but a user of the language, which I would put you down as, having spoken to you, Hamid. Yes, you're learning English. So am I. But now you are actually using English. You're a user of the language. It's a different way of thinking about it now. Okay, April's just raised her hand. She has a remark. April, take the mic.
I noticed that Hamid pronounce everything, I think, in American way. Like one word that keeps in my mind, is adult. She said adult, and I will say adult.
Adult,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. But British American, English American English,
Exactly.
adult. Yeah, this is very, very, very.
If you notice, even Google accepts this, and they've got adult and adult. Now, as a British speaker, I say adult, but I'm not going to correct somebody because they say, as long as I mean, to be honest, Amida, I am British. I do British pronunciation, but I accept American pronunciation and spelling. I'm not a snob. But sometimes I do correct people and they go, oh, but that's how they say it in America, which is fine. But I wouldn't have corrected you there because that's how you say it. It's perfectly correct. Okay, don't worry about it. But you're right, you're right, April. Hamida did say adult, and we would say adult. Okay, Shiny, public executed. Hey, what? I'm not sure what it meant, but Shiny, I did want to say I thought it was very, very well written, your text, and very interesting about the chocolates. Okay, and I'm going to just correct that a little bit because it makes more sense to me now. Having listened to Hamida read it, it does make more sense. There are two types of chocolate for women to give to their father, male boss, colleagues, or friends. The latter describe chocolates, not the women. Women give to the person they really like and confess their love for. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I suddenly realised because in your text, I'm not sure. The former is women give chocolates to their father. Yeah, you see, I thought you meant is it describes the women, but it doesn't. It describes the chocolates. So thank you, Hamida. It became much clearer when you. Oh, I've just changed chat. I don't know why. All messages are public. Enable chat box. Somebody's disabled the chat box. Don't do that. Okay. Any questions? Because we're going to have to finish. We've gone over time, as usual. We'll start on time. Really try hard to start on time. Never manage to finish on time. Okay. But Shiny, well done. And your corrections are in the forum. If you have any questions about why did I correct this or that, just leave a message, leave a comment, and I'll get to you. Try to do it this week, though, because I'll probably close the discussion before next week's. But well done, everybody who took part. And I thought it was really interesting and fun. And I hope you didn't mind the different way of doing this week's challenge. I hope it was interesting for you. Okay, then we'll finish there. And thank you to our readers today. If you put your hand up and didn't get into the call, as I say, the main way to get into a live chat is to take part in the challenge, okay? Because this is what we do on the live chat day. We have a little look at live chat website and the comments, etc. But really this session, because that only takes us so far, this session is about the vocabulary challenge, all right? But thank you very much. Take care. Shiny, you'll be okay because you'll be able to listen to the recording. Yay, that's why we stream. So with any luck, if it's worked, you'll be able to listen to the recording. You're welcome. Thanks very much. I know you only joined the session for 10 minutes, but you were late. I can't do anything about that. Get one of those Alexa alarm clocks. Yeah, get an Alexa alarm clock. Give me the remote control for it, and I'll shout at you, Shiny, you're late for the session. Thank you, Rima. No, don't worry, we all do it, Shiny. We all do it. It's these time zones. It's a pain, but never mind. This is life. I'll see you hopefully in the book reading in Kitely. Okay, we'll carry on reading The Call of the Wild. And anybody listening to this, you're welcome to join us in Kitely. A little bit of work to do to get the account set up and learn how to use viewers, etc. But once you've worked your way through it, then come and join us by all means. Let me know on the forum though, because I have to open it up for you. Okay. Anyhow, I'll see you all on the other side. And if you're not joining us in Kitely, I'll see you hopefully in the next session. Thanks for joining us. Take care. Bye.